Hey, what's up guys? John here. FHA is now proposing a new home payment reduction plan, which comes with a very big trap at the end, which could really allow homeowners to lose their properties. We're stepping into all of these pitfalls, all of these curveballs that are coming to the U.S. economy that a lot of people did not anticipate. Things such as the eviction moratorium, forbearances, even student loans and all these utility bills, all these other payments that are being pushed off, and they're basically optional. But now, they're proposing this new plan saying that they're going to allow people to reduce their payments, just one little catch. And I'm going to share it with you in this video as I break this down for you, because this is absolutely insane. I think it's going to have a major impact on the U.S. housing market. And if you're an investor, you want to invest, I believe there's going to be a lot of distress coming in this economy. I think there's a lot of problems ahead. So make sure that you maybe build out a 3-month, 6-month, 12-month plan to fix your credit, to save money, maybe to even start, scale, or grow a business. Because if you have cash, you have great credit, you're going to put yourself in a position to take advantage of some great once-in-a-lifetime opportunities. If you need help fixing your credit, we'd love to help you at greatcreditfast.com. That's greatcreditfast.com, or give us a call, 561-430-5900. Let's take a look at this. So FHA proposes new mortgage payment reductions. The Federal Housing Administration is seeking feedback on a new proposal for a home retention option to help struggling homeowners meet their mortgage obligations. The new option, the payment supplemental partial claim, would allow mortgage servicers to use FHA partial claim both to bring borrowers' mortgages current and to provide temporary reductions on their monthly mortgage payments for up to 5 years, so until 2028. But you look at this. How many people are going to want to take advantage of that? If they are looking at the job market, they're looking at the cost of living, and they have an option to reduce their monthly payments, you're damn right, a lot of people are going to be stepping forward to that. However, how does this play out? The rapid and steep interest rate increases over the past year have limited the effectiveness of some FHA's existing loan mitigation options. In assisting borrowers, just last week, Freddie Mac reported the 30-year fixed-rate mortgage hitting 6.57% and ongoing financial volatility. Well, it's higher now. Mortgage rates rise to the highest level in 6 months, so this came out today. So you're looking probably somewhere around 7%. We'll actually look at it right now and see what mortgage rates are. If you have an average credit score in America, which is 698, you're looking at 8.137%. If you have a slightly better than average, 7.48%. If you have perfect credit, 6.964%. So when they say 6.57, that's not accurate. Many homeowners continue to experience hardships due to health and financial difficulties that occurred during the pandemic, and these challenges have been exacerbated for these and other borrowers by current economic uncertainties, said the Secretary of the Housing and Federal Housing Commissioner, Julia Gordon. When we saw our existing loan modifications were no longer providing adequate payment relief, our team painstakingly explored every possible alternative to provide relief in the current rate environment. Now, you won't believe what they're proposing to help you. FHA's loan modification option, which has historically reduced borrowers' monthly payments to levels they can afford, is no longer effective as it once was because borrowers are forced to modify at market rates, which are higher than the current rates. The payment supplemental partial claim will allow homeowners experiencing hardship who are unable to obtain a significant payment reduction with other loss mitigation options to keep their existing interest rate. So a lot of people love that, 2.5%, 3%, 3.5% mortgages, to keep their monthly interest rate and reduce their monthly payment temporarily using funds from the FHA partial claim, which is a subordinate 0% interest lien. So they just want to put a lien on your property and kind of just sit on the back of that property. The homeowner will then pay back FHA when they sell their home or refinance. So any bit of equity that you have, they would get their money back, trust me. If you want to refinance, let's say the job market gets worse, say the economy gets worse, say you need to get access to some liquidity, you're not going to be able to refinance your property without paying them off first. So what ultimately happens? If home prices do not start to go back up to where they were in 2020, 2021, a lot of people won't be able to escape their home. A lot of people will be locked into these properties. Meanwhile, We're moving into a situation with increased insurance costs, increased property taxes, increased utility bills. The cost of being a homeowner is likely only going to be going up. So if they're facing financial difficulties now, and we haven't really even stepped into the big problems, imagine what's going to happen when you start to see millions of people walk away from their properties, maybe many of which would exercise a program like this. According to the HUD, since the start of the pandemic, mortgages have provided in excess of 1.3 million loss mitigation actions to borrowers. On January 30th, 2023, HUD extended and expanded its loss mitigation options to facilitate FHA's review and analysis feedback. Interested in stakeholders, keyword, are encouraged to thoroughly review the content of the draft ML and use a feedback response worksheet to provide feedback through June 30th, throughout the rest of the month. So, my opinion, I think this is a rug pull. And I think that homeowners that are looking at options right now, I think that if you take one of these options, just realize that it's very risky. I would probably call this as risky as getting an adjustable rate mortgage, maybe even riskier. Because the odds of property values going back to where they were 2 years ago in the next year, 2 years, 3 years is very unlikely. You start to think about how would that be? Why? Well, if you have a situation where real wages are starting to come down and the cost of living is only going to likely be going up as inflation continues to run rampant, insurance, property taxes continue to rise, the job market starts to soften, and they start to bring in other abilities for businesses to start outsourcing more and more talent to either to the east, India and China and other locations, automations, robotics, technology. We're not going to see a situation in which interest rates, 30-year interest rates go back to 2% and then the economy goes back. I think that's very unlikely. It's possible, but I think it's very unlikely. So if it's unlikely and you allow, or this proposal actually goes through, a 0% interest lien, it increases the likelihood that FHA is taking over that property at some point in time, if there's no way to leave. Because who's going to bring money to the table to sell their home? If there's no equity in it, not many people. They're just going to walk away. They're going to walk away and they're going to trash their credit in the process. Because when you walk away from a property, 7 years for the most part, that's going to sit on your credit report. So possibly even longer, depending if you file bankruptcy and which bankruptcy you select. So this is the time right now to be really defensive. When they're bringing out all these things to help you, the only people that they're helping is themselves. That's just, if we look at history, that's how it goes. So build out a game plan, build out a strategy. I believe there's going to be a lot of distress. I believe there's going to be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to invest in things such as stocks, real estate, land. Maybe you want to buy a farm, maybe you want to buy certain things. I think there's going to be a huge opportunity to run out there and pick up some of these deals. If you just look at where consumers are right now, 17 trillion in consumer debt. A lot of this debt was locked in at super low interest rates the last couple of years. Now every month it's just getting more and more and more expensive. So what is likely going to happen? They're going to start to lean on some of these programs. They're going to start to default. They're going to start to put themselves in a situation. And if you were a bank and you were going to lend money, who would you lend money to? Would you lend money to someone that is, to their teeth in debt? Would you lend money to someone that has very bad credit that looks like a riskier borrower on paper? Probably not, right? You would look to lend money to someone that is, good credit. They have cash in the bank. They have strong income. They look like someone that's going to pay you back, right? Those are going to be the ones. Those are going to be the borrowers that I believe are going to do extremely well in the next year, 2 years, 3 years. But even if you right now have a situation where maybe you have a lot of credit card debt, a lot of people do. I mean, we have over $1 trillion in credit card debt. There's still tons of options out there to get out of debt at 0% interest, to do a balance transfer and transfer that debt to a 0% interest card and put yourself in a situation to get debt free. There's still a lot of options. I don't think that's going to last forever, though. I think as banks start to tighten up more and more and more, because if you look at what's happening with these regional banks, they're going under pressure. So as we start to see more and more and more banking uncertainty, you're going to start to see these banks tighten up. And as that happens, some of these offers are going to start fading away. So big opportunities, big changes coming. What do you think about this? What do you think about this proposal? A 0% interest lien on your property to help you. This is absolutely nuts. This is crazy. I actually had a conversation with my dad maybe 3 years ago when the eviction moratorium or the forbearances were launched. And I said, what do you think about this? And he says, John, I always pay my bills. I don't care what the government says. I don't care what they say. I will pay my bills because first off, I don't trust what they're saying in the first place. But second off, if I sign on that dotted line, I'm man of my word. I'm going to pay what I say I'm going to pay. But a lot of people didn't have that ability, right? What do you think about this? Drop your comments below. Let's talk about this. And hit the like button, subscribe here. Also, every Friday, so today I'm going to be dropping a podcast. Really great podcast coming. And on Monday, I'm going to have a call-in show. So be sure to subscribe. And add me on IG. I post a lot more over there. And if you have any questions, you can always DM me on Instagram. I always respond to everybody. All right, catch you guys later.